Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our team stand is that we would now focus on the basic human rights in African countries because it's more needed in the developing world. And moving on to my rebuttal, I have few rebuttals to the Deputy Prime Minister. First of all, about the team mechanism, about the education. We say that people are now poor in those developing countries. They have empty stomach. They don't have enough food to feed themselves. So how can they develop themselves through their education? But now they don't have enough food. And also about the imperialism. If you come into the developing world and teach them and come intervene with the education, it will make the developing people hate those developed world even more because the developed world will bring more culture, technology, and everything to change the developing world. And this will cause a problem of imperialism. And this is down. And you said you will teach them to farm, but I'm asking you that how long would it take to teach them? How long would it will take to make them realize and aware that they should not cut down trees? And it would not work because it's in the status quo already that people learn about the environment, but they don't stop cutting down trees because their economy relies on logging, and now they are concerned about developing their economies. So that's why they don't stop cutting down trees at the first place. So we are saying here that they are already aware of those environmental problems, but they have more bigger issue to concern right now about the economics. And even more important issue is about the human rights of those people. And the empty stomach of those people are more important right now. And the environmental problems should be concerned by the first world country by now, ladies and gentlemen. And you say that okay.
Okay, you say that it is very important about the economics, but if we don't solve the problems of environmental right now, how are these 85% of people who are doing agriculture going to do in 50 years from now, or 10 years?
That is in our mechanism, ladies and gentlemen. We would solve the problem that developing world needed right now about the human rights, and after we solve that problem and their economic goal, and then we would make them concerned about the environment, ladies and gentlemen. We would get education after that. So our mechanism is mutually exclusive. And this is now, moving on to my argument. My argument is about the urgent need to improve human rights right now, and how concerning about environment right now will lead to more harms in the future of the developing country. And let's take a look at the main actor here, ladies and gentlemen. The people in the developing country, they are now poor, they have low standard of living, they don't get workers' right, they have low wages, they have no health care protection. So then the problem is that the government let the developed country come in, and that's the less to the bottom even happen because the government lower wages of their workers to attract the foreign investments. So now they have low wage in those developing countries. So now we need to improve those low wage for now. So that's why this problem is more urgent needed. And about the standard of human rights and about the environmental problem is more like a concern of the first world country only, because the first world country are developed enough, they have good education, they have good healthcare, they have large industry and economy, and more importantly, they are the number one polluter of the carbon dioxide. They are the number one country that pollute and cause the global warming in the first place. So we are saying here that the first world country should be more responsible than the third world country, and now we should let the third world country develop themselves first. And what would happen if we make the third world country they are concerned about environment right now? Even if the United States help, it will destroy the economy of the country because the government and people in the developing country will struggle to meet the standards of the United States. And they, like I said before, they depend heavily on forests. And if they turn their attention to the environmental issue, it will lead to two important problems. First, about the problem of dumping, because they would not then have products because now their sources are being limited by the developed countries, and now the USA need to import the products into the developing countries, and it will lead to dependence on the developing countries to the United States. And the second harm is about the imperialism. I would like to clarify on this point more. Imperialism will bring the cultural language and technology into the developing countries, and it will change the developing country even more. And the people in the country would not like the government of the first world country to come to intervene with their country, and it will now they would not want aid to go in, and the economic will decline even more. And so now we should help the developing world to improve on their economic first, and then especially about the human rights, because when people are more educated, more developed, and more protected, it will increase their standard of living, and the economy will grow. And when they don't have the problem of human rights and workers and the empty stomach that they have currently right now, they can concern on the environment and solve the problem of the government team has stated. And for now, we should let the developed countries who pollute more and is the number one cause of global warming, to concern about this problem in their own countries for now, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I'm planning to oppose. Thank you.